There's a fight in Tallahassee tonight to keep abortion legislation off the governor's desk.
The bill would make getting an abortion more expensive and require pregnant women in their first trimester to have an ultrasound before they have an abortion. Whitney Ray has the latest, all new at 7.
Pro-life senators are pulling strings in a last-ditch effort to curb the number of abortions in Florida. Wednesday, a health care bill was amended to require pregnant women seeking an abortion in their first trimester to pay for an ultrasound. They would then have the choice of viewing the image. Senate Democrats railed against the amendment.
I think it's done to try to compel women to sort of come to a judgment on a choice that should be a personal one.
Thursday, House Democrats brought the chamber to a halt when they refused to allow leadership to waive rules to bring the Senate bill to the floor.
At this point, it's a standoff, and we'll wait and we'll see what happens.
Despite efforts to stop the legislation, the plan is still alive. And if the bill ends up on the governor's desk, there's political implications. Whether he signs the bill or vetoes it, one thing's for sure, it'll cost him votes. Bill sponsor Andy Gardner doesn't know what Crist might do with the legislation.
That will be the governor's decision, but he's been made very clear he's pro-life, and I believe all these are pro-life issues.
There's also an amendment in the bill barring any insurance company that receives a state or federal tax credit from paying for abortions. In Tallahassee, I'm Whitney Ray, Wink News Now.
Cape Coral is facing a financial crisis tonight. An external audit shows that the city may not be able to pay for its retirees' benefits. The auditor says money could run out as early as next year. David Bowden has the latest.
Cape Coral's own external auditing firm says the city's pay-as-you-go protocol for paying benefits of retired employees is going to fail within the next year. According to Councilman Bill Diley, the city's efforts to save money by offering buyouts to long-term employees is only making the situation worse because of more retired employees and higher premiums.
On a pay-as-you-go basis, whatever the bill is, you have to pay it. And as the bill gets bigger and bigger, you're going to have to start taking money from other sources.
David Bowden, Wink News Now.
Cape Coral leaders say all of this may trigger a financial emergency. That could be a step away from bankruptcy.
A decades-old claim of pre-sex abuse surfaces this week. Jimmy Wilkins claims that he was abused by Father Thomas Anglem back in the 1960s. It was while he was attending St. Francis Xavier School in Fort Myers. Now, a lawsuit filed this week claims Father Anglem would help Wilkins with his schoolwork in exchange for sexual favors. The suit names the Archdiocese of Miami and the Diocese of Venice. Wilkins' attorney spoke for him today.
He still waits. The review board has never ever said if they believe him or not. All Jimmy wanted was answers, and here we are today because he didn't get them.
The Diocese of Venice says they have supported the counseling for Wilkins and have a zero-tolerance policy for sexual abuse. The largest census effort in the nation is set to kick off Saturday in Southwest Florida. Before you give up your personal information, there are things you need to know. Census workers will be hitting the streets. They'll be targeting homes whose residents either didn't fill out a census or maybe they didn't get one. Workers, though, should be wearing an ID badge around their necks. They should also be carrying a black bag with the official census seal on it. And they should have an official sign in their vehicle's window.
If anybody asks for a Social Security number, if anybody asks for bank identification numbers or bank account numbers, that is not a census worker. Don't give that information out.
Ask how many people are living in the home, and they'll have questions regarding age, sex, and race.
Next Tuesday marks the 40th anniversary of the Kent State shootings. Bob Carpenter of the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office was in the middle of the mayhem. He was a Kent State student and news director of the local and campus radio stations when riots broke out. Carpenter recorded the chaos and gunshots with a tape recorder.
When I hear that, I get goosebumps to this day, because there's hardly a day doesn't go by that something flashes back on me at Kent State.
Kent State is holding ceremonies to mark the anniversary of the shootings, and Carpenter has been invited to the event as a speaker.
Kind of missed a little bit of the sun for most of the day today.
Yeah, although it kept things cooler this morning, didn't it?
Yeah, we started off in the low 60s. We had that dry air in place, and then kind of the clouds were hanging around, and still got into the low 80s in many locations.
Didn't feel it, though. It felt nice.
Yes. Well, if you like today, wait till tomorrow because it's going to get really humid all the way into the weekend. So hopefully enjoy today because we had some drier weather in place. The clouds are in place definitely, even a few sprinkles off the coast. And then we're going to see that humidity return rather quickly. Already starting to feel it ramp up a little bit, especially by Saturday and Sunday. I'll explain coming up. There's our Tamiami Ford sky cam off in the distance, some clouds, a few breaks in some of those clouds, but other than that, it's been a mostly cloudy day, and as I said, a few sprinkles off the coast, but most of us staying dry. Let's get you started on the visible satellite picture, and there you have it. Here's the picture at 9 o'clock in the morning. You folks north of the Caloosahatchee, not a bad day at all. DeSoto County, Highlands County, even portions of Charlotte County, the Cape Hayes Peninsula. You saw a lot of sun early, and then some of those clouds moved in, and you've been right on that dividing line to the north. You could see a lot of clear weather. Of course, to the south, you folks in Collier County, even Lee County, a lot of clouds. And as I stated, a few sprinkles out in the Gulf of Mexico. But other than that, things pretty nice, upper 70s and low 80s for highs today. Look at Sky Tracker Doppler HD. There is a lot of moisture just to our south. Key West seeing light rain right now, some heavier rain just to the south of them. We are thinking this is going to eventually start migrating to the north, and we do have rain in the forecast, and I'll explain that coming up. It's 77 right now in Fort Myers. Look at the dew points, how quickly they went up. Today, with that southerly breeze now, the dew points are going up. That means more humidity back into the forecast. It's here to stay for a while, folks. It feels like 80 degrees in Cape Coral with the temperature at 78 degrees. Look at these warm temperatures in the middle of the country. We're in the 70s and 80s. How about 70s and 80s all the way up to Iowa, Des Moines, Iowa at 81 degrees, Chicago at 76, Columbus, Ohio at 70, 71 in Lexington, even Atlanta at 72, some low 80s in Brownsville as well as San Antonio. All that warm weather is on its way into southwest Florida. High pressure and control as it slides off into the off the eastern coast, I should say, and into the Atlantic. The wind becomes more southeasterly. That is picking up that moisture and bringing it overhead. So scattered rain back in the forecast tomorrow and more humidity. And with that southerly wind, that is really going to strengthen the humidity and bring in warmer temperatures. Planning ahead for the weekend, look at that. 88 degrees on Saturday, breezy on Sunday, a warm breeze from the south, 89 degrees. Might even see a few showers hanging around on Saturday due to that moisture being basically brought in from the south. Reason for the warm-up this weekend? Well, high pressure in the upper atmosphere is actually building in from the south, so warm weather in place up and down the eastern seaboard, a little dip in the jet stream, but that is not going to make its way into southwest Florida. We're really going to warm things up all the way into that weekend. 67 degrees overnight, 68 in Naples, mostly cloudy with a few isolated sprinkles, especially in Collier County. By the afternoon tomorrow, we're going to keep that rain in the forecast. 85 degrees, though. It's going to really warm up into Saturday and Sunday, and you could see Monday even 89 degrees.
John Edwards' former mistress tells all. Rielle Hunter appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show today. Hunter says the presidential candidate's wife did not know the full extent of their affair until after Edwards did a TV interview. Hunter says she did not ruin the politician's marriage to Elizabeth Edwards. She says problems already existed. But here's an excerpt of that interview that aired today on Oprah.
Were you after John Edwards because of money, fame, attention?
No. No. I was not ever after him.
Mm-hmm.
I met him and there was a very strong connection, an attraction. There was no me pursuing, wanting something from, none of that.
Hunter says people see her negatively because of the affair. John and Elizabeth Edwards are divorced. Edwards and Hunter have a 2-year-old daughter from their affair. But when Oprah asked her about the current relationship with Edwards, she says it's private.
Still to come on Wink News Now at 7.
Tiger Woods plays his first round at the Quail Hollow Championship. Wink Sports Now next.